Hi, this is Colin with JDS Sign Supply. Today we're going to be looking at decorating on our Laserable Leatherette, and we're going to be using heat transfer vinyl as an alternative to do that. So out in front of me I have a couple items laid out. Each item is going to be a little unique, a little different, so we're going to go over how to put that in the press and the best options to do each item. You can use just about any heat transfer vinyl on the Laserable Leatherette. I haven't found a lot of vinyls that don't work with it. Today I'm going to be using a Stahl's vinyl. This is their Fashion Film Liquid Gold. So the first item we're going to talk about, this is a golf tee holder. Obviously we can't press this very successfully with the tees in it. Also we have like the strap to worry about. So the first thing we're going to do is take the tees out. Once you do that, you can see that where the tees were actually in will lay fairly flat, so that doesn't really become an issue at that point. The strap is still pretty thick, so once we press that, I'll show you how we can kind of get around that item. So with this item, we have a couple options of where we can decorate. Obviously the back, nice big flat area. We also have this area on the bottom front that we can put a design onto. So I'm actually going to do two different pressings, one on the front with this Bruins and then the bear on the back side of it. So we're going to bring this over to the press. Like I said before, we have the strap here that could cause us issues. So basically I'm going to line this up in the press so that my strap is hanging over the edge of the press, and that should give us a nice flat press so that we get even pressure across it and should get a good result. I'm also using a piece of parchment paper just to cover it. This just kind of protects everything, protects your heat platen of your press, and also protects the leatherette. Like I said, we're using Fashion Film, so we have 320 degrees at 15 seconds. Your pressure, you probably want to be somewhere around like a 3. Obviously, if you pull the press down and it feels like you're crushing the item, it's probably too much pressure, and you'll probably see the clear carrier sheet of the vinyl get imprinted into the leatherette, so we don't want that. And I'm just using the standard settings for this particular vinyl. I'm not using a specific setting, so whatever your vinyl is, I recommend that you use those settings. And then we're just going to let this cool down and then we'll peel it. So you can see we have a nice finish. It's probably a little too heavy on the pressure here. You can kind of see some indents, so I can back off on that. But we'll go ahead and we'll repeat that process for the front side. So the next item I have is a clipboard. We're going to do the back of the clipboard. Obviously the clip itself would be an issue, so we're just going to leave that part out of the press and try to press the surface of it down here. I'm actually going to do the back side of it and just leave this clip out of the press. So you can see down here I'm just butting the clip up to the edge of the press. And then, like I said, we're going to use this green silicone sheet here. This is just going to help take away some of the direct heat coming off the press and kind of help squish down and conform. Hopefully mitigate some of that shininess we're seeing, and then also mitigate the line from the transfer. So now I'm about 22 seconds, still at 320. We go ahead and drop the press down. So we're sitting at about 2 pressure. It's fairly light. So I can already see that the pressure was probably a little too light. It doesn't look like these top numbers stuck that well, but it looks like the bottom did. So I'm just gonna run it back through a second time and increase my pressure a little bit. Yeah, so it looked like it did a little bit better. There's still a little bit of shininess on it, and that could just be, you know, maybe we need to use a vinyl that's a lower temp application so we can mitigate some of that. So those are definitely things to look out for. But overall, it's pretty good. Next item we're gonna do is a mouse pad. So it's kind of the same deal where we have this pad here that we kind of have to omit from the press. So we have all this area up here that we can decorate onto. And as long as we stay away from this area, we should be good. So the last item we're gonna do is this tote bag. Got a nice decoratable area on the front. Some things to consider. We got the straps. We also have 2 layers to the bag. So what I'm gonna do is dress the press where I basically slide this over the bottom, and then we'll just lay the strap flat so that it's not really affecting us too much. And I'm gonna give this one a little bit of a pre-press. You can see the straps kind of popping up here. If we give it a little bit of a pre-press, that should lay flat. Shouldn't be a big deal. Now we can see it's laying nice and flat. So go ahead and add our vinyl on top. I definitely like, with these bags specifically, have my artwork farther up towards the top than the bottom. The actual heat platen doesn't cover all the way to the very edge, so you got probably at least like a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch where it's not actually heating here, so I like to have it more towards the top. Each vinyl is a little bit different on whether you should peel, whether it's a hot peel or a warm peel or a cold peel. I usually have a tendency to just let my vinyl cool down to about a warm peel before I peel it, but whatever specific vinyl you're using should have instructions on what is recommended for that particular vinyl. As you can see, we got a pretty unique finished product with the heat transfer vinyl. Some of the things we saw today, you know, we had some shininess on the leatherette, obviously affected by the heat. This fashion film liquid gold from Stahl's is one of the higher temperature application heat transfer vinyls. If we use something like an ultra weed, that can apply anywhere from like 260 to 300, so you can significantly drop your temperature and probably get better results. I definitely think the silicone pad helps mitigate some of that shininess and definitely helps mitigate the lines that you see from the carrier sheet. We did notice some of the lines were probably just adhesive from the carrier sheet, and we were able to just kind of wipe those off, rub those off, and they weren't as noticeable. If you have any questions on this stuff or items like that, please give us a call at the number below or visit us online.